Lewis Curley trying to take the Southern Area Cruiserweight title off Steve Orford. Question, can he do it?
A very interesting fight, Steve. Lewis Curley, he's boxed in the league before, put on a very impressive performance against Conor McLean. Last time out, Steve won the title with a gutsy display against Wojciech Wazorek. You know, I just can't pick it. I mean, it's going to be a good fight. Lewis Curley is a good boxer, but I don't know where my money goes on this one. I think we're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out.
I love it. Once again, another great match. Stay with us.
Your first fighter to enter the arena this evening will be the challenger for the title. He is Lewis Curley. And ladies and gentlemen, the second fighter to enter the arena is the reigning and defending Southern Area Cruiserweight Champion. Please welcome Steve Orford. Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is brought to you in association with Lonsdale, New Era Recycling, Cymex Nutrition, BeaverMetals.com, and Brown and Mason. Introducing the challenger for the title, standing in the blue corner. He represents Curley KO Gym. He is Lewis Curley! And standing across the ring in the red corner is the champion. He fights out of Juggernaut's Boxing Gym in East Grinstead. Please make some noise for Steve Orford! This contest will be fought over 4 2-minute rounds, and your referee in charge of the action is Mr. Seamus Dunn.
Well, a fascinating contest in prospect here. We have Lewis Curley trying to take the Southern Area Cruiserweight title off the reigning and defending champion Stevie Orford. And now, we do know that Curley is a decent boxer, and we know that Orford has trained very hard for this. And I've got to say, Alan, my money would be on Orford retaining.
I think so, but make no mistake, Lewis Curley is a decent operator and he can bang. So, as I say, like you mentioned, Steve Orford has trained hard for this fight. He wants to keep this belt. He's a proud champion, so I think you can just expect fireworks. Oh, he got caught with a nice shot there.
Well, I've got to say, Curley's actually made a very good start to this. He's from Bournemouth, boxing out of Curley's KO Gym. And, you know, I mean, my personal instinct is Orford, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if Curley wins this. And interestingly, Steve Orford, almost 40 years of age. His opponent, well, he's 20 years younger at 19. So a massive gulf there, Alan.
Definitely. I mean, he's got youth in it, on his side, but Steve Orford's got the experience side of things, but he's getting caught with quite a few shots here.
Absolutely right. Good start this from Curley.
Yeah, he's looking sharp and lively, but the thing is, this is a a championship fight in the league, Steve. So Southern area bouts go over 4 rounds. So it doesn't sound a lot, but when you're fighting at the pace that these guys fight at,
It's long enough.
it's long enough.
Well, so far, a nice measured approach this by Lewis Curley, and as a result, of course, he's been picking off Steve Orford at range, and of course catching him coming in.
He is. Steve needs to cut the ring off a bit more. At the moment, he's
following him around.
He's following
yes.
around. He needs to sort of work the angles, cut him off, so he's not got that room to move around and you know, flick off the flash combinations.
Indeed. But can he do that?
Well, he's trained incredibly hard for this, so he's in the best shape to do that, if he can.
It's one thing though being fit, Alan, it's quite another getting the right tactics, isn't it? Well, end of the first round, which goes without a doubt Curley's way.
Yeah, he was landing the cleaner, the more eye-catching shots in that round.
Incidentally, Lewis Curley's had 8 fights outside the league, won 4, lost 4. He's had 1 Queensbury Boxing League bout, he won that. And as for Orford, well, he had over 20 amateur contests and also 1 Queensbury League bout, and he won that.
Yeah, I mean, the last time that we saw Lewis in the league, he boxed a lad called Conor McLean, who was no slouch.
Absolutely.
And it was a tough fight for him, but, you know, he prevailed. And, you know, it's good to have him back in the league. Let's see how these 3 rounds now pan out, and I think the fitness thing could be a key for him. How hard has his preparations been for this contest?
And at the age of 39, Alan, it doesn't get easier, does it?
It doesn't. No, it's you know, but he's trained very hard for it, Steve. So yeah.
So round 2 it is then of a scheduled 4. Don't forget, of course, at stake, the Southern Area Cruiserweight title held by Steve Orford, defended by Steve Orford. But of course, the big question is, will he still be champion when that final bell rings?
Well, he's trying to stalk him down at the moment, walk him down and try and land something meaningful.
Well, this is better.
Good body shot there from Steve Orford. He's a southpaw, so sometimes, you know, when an orthodox fighter and a southpaw do sort of meet, it can be awkward. Lovely left hook there from Steve Orford. That got his attention got Lewis Curley's attention.
But he's boxing much more sensibly now, isn't he, Orford?
He is. That's it. He needs to, you know, combinations, release the shots and then get out of range. Lewis is a smart boxer.
Yep, don't stay there to get hit. Land and move.
He's covering up well there, but Lewis on the attack here.
Yeah, not a whole lot got through, but enough did.
Yeah, he's definitely, Steve's boxing a lot better in this round. He's picking his shots, he's walking him down, and Lewis isn't being as effective on the
There's not much about it, is there?
No, it's a tight round, but for me, Orford's landed the more meaningful shots in this one.
So you would call this one a level round? Sorry, my apologies, Orford's round, so making it 1 apiece with 2 to play.
I would say, I mean, from the passage of action that we've seen so far,
Yes.
definitely.
I won't argue with you. Yes, much more sensible tactics now from Orford.
Yeah, nice little counter there. Curley's jab fell a little bit short and got punished with the southpaw right hand over the top.
It's interesting, isn't it, how Orford was a bit gung-ho in the first session, but much more circumspect in the second.
I think what's happened is he's gone back to his corner. His coach, Will Gardner's taken a look at it. He's seen what's in front of them now. He's come up with a plan, and you know, he's advised, you know, Steve, this is what you've got to do to get back into this fight.
That's what good coaches do.
Exactly. I think sometimes you see a lot of coaches who, you know, they watch their fighter throughout the sort of, you know, the first or second, whatever part of the fight, but they don't come up with the solutions to counteract what's going wrong.
Absolutely right, and of course sometimes they don't see the other fighter at all. So round 3 coming up then, a halfway stage, a round apiece for us, 19 points each. So Steve Orford, the reigning and defending Southern Area Cruiserweight champion, against Lewis Curley. First defence, by the way, of the Southern Area Cruiserweight title for Orford. And, well, we saw him being much more of a thinking fighter in round 2. Trickier, certainly.
Yeah,
and more variety, too.
Nice left hook there from Steve Orford. You know, he's covering up well. He's moving away from the shots. You know, he's not trying to exchange when the punches are throwing, and that's really important. You know, you don't want to get into a stage and then just everything goes out the window when you're trying to exchange back.
Well, Lewis Curley, of course, would love it if Orford stood in front of him and had a punch-up.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it is, you know, because there's been a very slight, and it only has to be a very slight change in tactics from Orford, and they've so far been the undoing of Lewis Curley.
Indeed. Again, Steve Orford looking a lot more composed in this round again. He's started where he sort of left off in the second round, and for me, if he carries on like this, keeps the work rate going. Oh, lovely. 2 crunching counters there as Curley walked in with seriously no regard for defence.
Absolutely superb.
He
looked so promising, Alan, in the first round.
He did, Steve. I mean, but I think there's been a change in the, or a shift, I should say, in the action. And for me, Orford's now on top.
I couldn't agree more. And also, I have a feeling here that Lewis Curley is beginning to blow a wee bit.
Yeah, I was going to say that he's not. The volume of punches aren't going. He looks like he's breathing a bit heavier. I mean, this is what's going to test him. Good body shot there by Orford, and another good shot. He's walking down. I mean, that's the problem. I say it all the time with these fighters. You know, it's like a sport. Yeah. A flurry there from Curley at the very end, but for me, again, that's an Orford round.
Absolutely right. 29-28, we have it.
I was watching there in the corner. Lewis Curley went back to his corner, and I can't say what he said, but translated, yeah, he's a little bit tired.
He's not happy. Yes, he's very tired. I can see that. Written all over him. And of course, at 39 years of age, a cracking effort here, really, from Steve Orford. When you think, you know, I mean, I hate to harp on about age, Alan, but it, you know, it is a major factor.
Of course, you know, you get these sort of crossroad fights where they match prospects against established champions in all over the world, and you're looking to get somebody at the right time. Are they on the slide? Are they that little bit long in the tooth? But from this performance from Steve Orford, you know, he still looks like he's got a lot to give, and he's, for me, he's come on stronger as the fight's progressed, and I think this round, if he's doing the same work, he's going to win it.
That's right. Well, if Lewis Curley does turn this one around and wins the final round, he can get a draw here. That was a slip. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm very surprised. I thought that was a slip.
Yeah, hard to see. I mean, I didn't quite see what happened.
I thought it was a slip, but there you go. Referee Seamus Dunn is in a far better position than we are.
Indeed, but you know, depending on how the judges see it, they don't have to give that as a knockdown.
Well, I mean, actually they do. You know, that's the problem. You do.
Yeah. I was always under the impression that the judges could use their discretion.
No. Well, I mean, Alan, you know, you are half of the Queensbury Boxing League. If you decide that doesn't count, that doesn't count.
No, well, I'm just saying.
But generally, it does.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you look at it, judges, as I say, judging a boxing contest is very subjective, Steve. And some people will like the fighter who walks forward, throws the shots. They might not all be connecting shots, but a good little flurry there from Lewis Curley. But another good shot there from Lewis Curley. This is again.
But what it means is, of course, if he wins this round, the best he can do is get a draw, because he's already lost a point for getting supposedly knocked down.
Yeah.
So he wins the round, gets a draw, but he still loses the fight by a point.
Yeah,
because he can't win the round, unless, of course, he does drop Orford on the way.
Of course. Oh, good shot there by Steve Orford.
No, it's an absolute. You see, when the referee gives a count, it's an absolute, and it's got to be counted. It doesn't matter how you think about it, it's just the way it is.
Well, within the league, because the fights are shorter, Steve, what we tend to do is we say to the judges, you know, if a fighter gets knocked down but he dominates the rest of the round,
it's a level round.
You could say it's a level round or a 10-9. It doesn't have to necessarily be a 10-8.
Absolutely not. That's where your discretion comes in.
That's it. Orford looks like he's digging deep here. He's blowing a bit as well. Caught Curley with a couple of good shots.
Well, I tell you what, Alan, a level round there, and it's not enough, I'm afraid. 38-39 in favour of Steve Orford, which means, as far as we're concerned, he's still the cruiserweight champion of the Southern area.
As far as we're concerned, yes.
Are you happy with the score?
No, I think that's a fair result, Steve.
Had it not been for that spurious knockdown, it would have been a draw. Actually, no. Yes, it would. It would have been a draw.
After 4 rounds of championship boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. And we have a unanimous decision in favor of your winner. And still,
Steve Orford does indeed retain his belt, as indeed we thought he would. Very decent effort there from Lewis Curley. For the 19, Alan, he can come again.
And ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for a gallant runner-up, Lewis Curley.
Alan Foley, Jimmy Harrison defending his British light welterweight title against Sean Moulton.